You love your new brand name and you're ready to find a lawyer to help you protect that mark. But there are 5 things you should do before picking up that phone. In this video, I'm going to tell you what these 5 things are that'll make it easier to get your mark registered and get you one step closer to protecting your brand. Ready? Let's go. Hi, I'm Tanya, the Trademark Boss, and on this channel, I put lawyer talk into everyday language so that I can help women entrepreneurs protect their most valuable business asset, their brand. Before we get into it, go ahead and subscribe, click the bell so that you'll know when our videos come out every week. Now, let's talk about the 5 things you need to do to make it easier to protect your brand. Step number 1, search TESS. So what is TESS? TESS is the search engine for the USPTO, the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. It has all the registered trademarks in that search engine. So you're going to want to go into the TESS database and search for your mark. When you're going into the TESS database, make sure that you are using asterisks, the little stars around your brand name. That will help bring up any other mark that has words containing your brand name. So let's say, for example, your brand name is Blue Sharpie. It's YouTube. I'm doing this off the top of my head. Okay, so Blue Sharpie, we're going to go with it. If you put an asterisk before blue and an asterisk after Sharpie, if there are other marks that contain those words, it'll bring them up. If you don't, it'll bring up just ones that are spelled the same as what you put into the database. Okay? So another way, let's say instead of putting in Sharpie, you just put in sharp with the asterisk. It'll bring up anything that has the word sharp in there. So this is the first place you want to go, is to go to the USPTO search engine. Once you do that, you'll at least see if there's another registered mark, and you want to check and see if that mark is registered for what you want to do business for. After you come out of TESS, the next thing you're going to do, Google University. Yes, I'm actually sending you to Google. Step 2 is do a Google search. Put your brand name into the search box and click search. See what comes up. This will let you know if your name is already out there in the Google universe, okay? So when you do that, you'll be able to see things that may not be in TESS. Now, Tanya, why do I care if it's not in the USPTO? Because if someone is using it, you want to know. And you want to know before you pick up the phone and talk to a lawyer and they do their comprehensive search to tell you you can't use your mark, because that's what we're trying to avoid. So first, search TESS. Second, we're going to search Google. The third thing we're going to do, social media. Go into Facebook, go into Instagram, go into LinkedIn, go into Pinterest, go into TikTok, go into every freaking thing that you can think of, and anything that you will want to use your brand name on, and see if it's already there. See if the handles are available. Having the social media handles available doesn't necessarily mean that automatically your mark is perfect and can be registered. But what it does tell you is whether or not somebody is already using it. That's what we're trying to find out here. The whole purpose of doing these steps is to figure out if somebody else is already using your mark, how they're using it, what they're using it for. So you're going to check social media, because a lot of times you have a lot of companies nowadays where they have a Facebook page, but no website. I don't know why, but they do. Okay. So you want to make sure that you're checking for your brand name in these social media handles. The next thing you want to do, GoDaddy or Wix or whoever, do a domain search. With this domain search, what you're really trying to do is see if somebody is legit using it, meaning have they built a business around this? Because most people that really want to build their business and understand the whole SEO universe get the domain name. and they will get the domain name in a number of different variations because now there are so many options other than just .com. So check and do a domain search. Put your name into GoDaddy, www.iwishtheywould.com, and see if it's there. Okay? When you do that, one, you can figure out if you can get the domain, which if you can, buy it immediately. And two, you can find out if somebody's already using it. If the name is gone, put it directly into Google and see what comes up. See if somebody is just holding the page where there's no website there, or see if a website comes up and what kind of goods and services are they selling. This will help you, again, be able to better explain to the lawyer what you've already found. Then check your Secretary of State. I know, I told you it was 5 things, okay? So, first, test, USPTO search engine. Second, Google. That's where we're going. Third, social media handles. Fourth, domain search. Fifth, we're now going to search the Secretary of State or Division of Corporations, whatever it is that you have in your state. Here's why. You will not be able to register that name in your state 99.9% of the time if somebody already has the name. Okay? So you want to figure out if this name is already registered with the Division of Corporations and whether or not you'll be able to get your LLC, S Corp, partnership, or whatever it is that you're going to build. Now, if you have already built your business, meaning you already have the state registration, so you know that nobody else is using the name, at least not the way you're using it, in your state, then you want to make sure that you still do the other 4 steps. So here is why you want to do all of this. If someone else is using your name, they have the ability to shut you down. I mean, shut you all the way down. Like, go ahead, close your doors, and run me my money for everything that you sold. We don't want that. So you don't want to put your blood, sweat, and tears into a brand that you can't build, or a brand that somebody else has built and will now come and reap the benefits of all the work you've done under their brand name. When you do all this and then you pick up the phone to call a lawyer, you can have a better conversation. You can tell the lawyer, listen, I have done the basic dirty search, like I call it, where I've searched Google, I've searched tests, and I don't see anything. The lawyer is still going to do a comprehensive search if they're worth their salt. Here's why. That comprehensive search catches things our dirty search cannot. It catches state trademark registration. So let's say you're in California, but somebody is using this mark in Georgia. You want to know that. And you want to know how long they've been using it, whether or not they've been using it for what you want to use it for. Because if they've been using it first, they have the ability to, in the least, keep you out of Georgia. So any trademark lawyer worth their salt is still going to do a comprehensive search in order to make sure that they have a full understanding of how the brand is being used to be able to properly advise you through the process. But when you call, you will at least already know and can say, hey, Tanya, listen, so it's in Facebook, but they're doing, clothing. But I want to do workshops and conferences and things like that. I can say, okay, all right, well, we might still be okay. If you call me up and you say, Tanya, listen, so I want to do clothing, but there's this brand who has the Facebook handle, the IG handle, the domain, and I kind of sort of found them in test and they're doing clothing too. I'm be like, you need a new brand. And I know that is not what clients want to hear. I've had to have that conversation. But here's the conversation you for real don't want to have is we put through your mark and now this person who has been using it applies to cancel your mark. So now you've lost the money that you put into your business in order to build the brand. You've lost the money that you've paid the lawyer in order to do the trademark. And now you're spending more money in order to fight this cancellation. These 5 steps can help you figure out early enough before Your heart is all tied up in the wonderful logo that you got off of Fiverr or Upwork or wherever, 99 Designs, wherever you got it from. And you're so in love with this name that if anybody tells you you need to change the name, you're probably going to try to kill them. So let's avoid all that. And let's do these 5 steps. Now, here's the question I always get when it comes to doing the searches. Well, what if I spell it differently? No. If you go in there and you put in gray sky in test and it comes up, the fact that they spell it Grey and you want to spell it Gray or Grai or Gre with the hyphen or, the little thing that goes over the E in order to be all fancy. No, the USPTO does not care. Phonetic spelling doesn't change the analysis for likelihood of confusion. And listen, that was a whole lot of lawyer words, right? What am I saying? They don't care how you spell it if it sounds the same. If it sounds the same and it's in the same classes, when they say it out loud, they're hearing gray, doesn't matter. So spelling is not really going to save you. So if you do these 5 steps and you're like, okay, well, what if I change the Y to an I or no, you're going to have to rebrand, let it go, and move into something that you can build and prevent others from using, because that's what we're really trying to do, right? So when you do the search and you have all your information, write it down. If you can do screenshots, which we can all do nowadays, do screenshots of what you found and even send that to the lawyer. That will be helpful for them to be able to say, okay, in this initial consult, I can tell you, no, we're not going to be able to get this brand through. Or we might have to be a little creative. I specialize in creativity, but we might have to be a little creative, but we might be able to do something if you're really that married to the brand. I would say before you get invested, before you put all the money into it, before you put all the love into it, do the 5 steps. It will save you a lot of heartache on the back end. Okay? So if you like this video, go ahead and check out my channel. I've got more videos where this comes from, where I put lawyer talk into everyday language to help you through the process of protecting your brand. See you over there.